A very good morning to all the participants, our distinguished lead speakers of the session who have already joined. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I, Dr. Shonendu Roy, Joint Organizing Secretary of the Organizing Committee, would like to welcome our lead speakers, Dr. P. Nisha from NIIST Thiruvananthapuram, and there is another lead speaker, Professor Vivekananda Mandal from the University of Gorbongo after her. So I will hand over this session to the session chair, Dr. Gyan Vikas Bhandari of the Department of Botany, University of North Bengal. So he will be convening the proceedings of this particular session. So, Madam, first of all, I would like to thank on behalf of the organizing committee that you accepted our invitation to deliver the lead lecture in this session. So I am very grateful to you. Thanking you for accepting our invitation. So I am now passing on the responsibility to Dr. J.B. Bhandari. Sir.
Very good morning to all of participants and dignitaries and my fellow faculty members and all of other dignitaries in the seminar. So today is the second day for the 2 days national seminar. First of all, I just introduce Dr. P. Nisha. He is senior scientist from Agro Processing and Technology Division, Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. He has a lot of experience. He started his service from November 2006 to 2007, and then as a visiting faculty, and then junior scientist, then scientist, and senior scientist. She also awarded and many recognitions like Member Research Council CSIR, Member Scientific Panel CSIR, Raman Research Fellowship, and Departmental Fellowship from ICT Mumbai, and Protein, Food and Nutrition Development, etc. And she has lot of publications like 65 and book chapter 8, and she attend already almost 30 conference and PhD awarded students 3 and ongoing 8. And he also country visited Germany, Ireland, Spain, and France. And now I just request her to deliver a lecture. Thank you, madam. Please start.
Yeah, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, audible.
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and thank you for the kind words and introduction. It's indeed a great pleasure and privilege for me to be a part of this seminar. And I especially thank the organizers as well as Dr. Swananda for giving me this opportunity. I'll just upload my slides, and before that, I'll be switching off my video because we have some bandwidth issues here. So let me upload the files. Is it visible?
Yes, madam.
It's in the presentation mode, right?
Okay.
Yeah, once again, a very good morning to all of you. So today in this 2 days presentation, we are basically discussing about advancement of plant sciences for food diversity and nutritional security. It's indeed a very important and appropriate topic when we advocate indigenization and that we have diverse food crops across the country, and this diversity is very important in meeting the nutritional security of the country. Before going to the actual presentation, I would like to introduce my institute. As mentioned in the introduction, I belong to CSIR, one of the leading national research institute of the country, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. And I'm from the Southern Institute of CSIR called NIST. Earlier it was RRL Trivandrum. Now it is renamed as National Institute for Interdisciplinary Science and Technology. As the name indicates, we are interdisciplinary in nature. We have 5 different divisions which are working on different aspects of science and technology. We have agro-processing and technology division, which I belongs to, and we have another department, which focus on microbial process and technology. We also have material science and technology, environmental technology, as well as chemical science and technology. Uh, Coming to agro-processing and technology division, we basically focus on the sustainable development of the agri-food sector by post-harvest interventions, especially in the area of spices, oil seeds, fruits and vegetables, cereals and grains, herbs and medicinal plants, and also we are focusing on functional foods and nutraceuticals and its validation. And basically, our strength is product and process development and its optimization, technology development and implementation, technology transfer to the various stakeholders, interested stakeholders. We also are focusing on byproduct valorization because it is very important with respect to the sustainable development of the sector. Modernization of processing units, industrial. One of the thrust area is our industrial collaboration because we always work in hand with the industries, and also we undertake lot of societal program, which is actually the mandate of CSIR. Now, as I mentioned, we have again an interdisciplinary team which are truly complementary to take up the projects related to agri and food products, and then basically we work in consensus with the industrial requirement. Since we are basically an industry oriented research program, research institute, we have a very good pilot plant facility with modernized equipments which can take care of almost all the aspects of food processing and technology development. We also have a very good, excellent food analytical as well as a quality control facility that includes LCMS, GCMS, and then other instruments to support our research and developmental activities. Uh, these are, just a glimpse of technologies that we have developed. Just I want to introduce these technologies to you just for your awareness. We are very strong in spices, and then I'm very happy to share that some of our technologies have actually found their implementation in northeastern states like Meghalaya, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, etc. And also we are one of the institutes, very which rarely work on lipid science and technology. Here we are basically focusing on refining of the oil sector, different indigenous oils, its downstream processing, then adulteration, and also some innovative new generation products like powdered oil and oleogel, etc. Now, I'll come back to the topic after this very brief introduction about the institute where I belongs to. So, in this presentation, I'll be basically talking about value addition of underutilized indigenous crops towards food diversity and nutritional security. So, coming to the agriculture production of India, we know that we are an agriculture country and we support 17.6% of the world population, 15% of the world animal population with 4.2% of world water. We top in most of the agriculture production. For example, in pulses, milk, jute production, etc. We are the top producing country, and also we are the second largest producer of rice, wheat, vegetable, fruits, etc. We are very grateful to the intervention by the great agriculture scientists like Professor Swaminathan and other contemporaries for the green revolution and other movements, so that we have moved from ship to mouth in the situation in 1950s to food security in 2013, Food Security Act in 2013. So even after this, we know that one of the major challenges faced by our country is the malnutrition, and it actually spread across the population. Uh, Actually, if you see, there is a controversy, right? One side we are the largest producer of the food crops. On the other side, we are facing malnutrition as a major issue. So, to counter or to combat the situation, the 2030 vision for global food system. It states that we should be able to feed every person every day in every country with a safe, nutritious, and affordable diet. So that actually indicate that we should be needing around 35 percentage more food to meet this requirement. And also we need to create jobs and income gains in the food system to meet the poverty reduction target. So when we have increase in the food products, that means that we need to produce 35 percentage of more food to meet the requirement. So that means that we need to produce more food, so that has to be boosted by the agriculture production, and also that will have to go to value addition. So there is an industrial intervention, so that leads to employment generation, and that creates that more income for the region. So this is a circle. Okay, this entire program is a circle where one side you have increased production and then leading to job employment generation, and then more of income gain. So this actually leads to the sustainability of the society. And coming back to the current food related global issues. So this hunger, malnutrition, diet related issues such as diabetes, etc., are some of the leading current food related global issues faced by the globe in general. So when it comes to nutritional security, as it mentioned earlier, that malnutrition is one of the most prevailing issues of the country. And malnutrition is actually the imbalance between the nutrients the body needs and the nutrient it gets. So if the body is getting the nutrients in an amount which is less than that is required, it gives rise to undernutrition. And then if you are consuming excess of nutrition, it leads to overnutrition. In both the cases, it is not desirable, and then it is actually leads to malnutrition. So the malnutrition actually it affects 1 in 3 people all around the world, and it comes different shapes and sizes. For example, stunting, wasting, obesity are different forms of malnutrition. So the malnutrition, to combat malnutrition, you have to ensure nutritional security. So what is nutritional security? Nutritional security is that every individual has the physical, economic, and environmental access to balanced diet that includes the necessary macro and micronutrients and safe drinking water, sanitation, environmental hygiene, primary health care, and education, so as to lead a healthy and productive life. So this is what the nutritional security means. Now, how can we assure the nutritional security through food diversity? So the 2030 agenda basically focus on sustainable development by using biological diversity in consumers, and then which can be achieved by the advancement in plant sciences. So that is the importance of the topic today, and also by providing essential nutrients to the required to the public. And also we have to take care that it has a low environmental impact. And we need to also understand that lack of dietary diversity is a great threat to the food security and human health. So food diversity can take care of all this aspect. And then let us see what is diversity in diet. It is nothing but a year-round enjoyment of geographically varied food. And then dietary diversity is the number of different foods or food groups that consumed over a different is a given time period. And then ensuring the food diversity actually ensures nutritional security. So diversity plus the security, nutritional security, gives rise to food security. And then food security is nothing but food security exists when all people all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preference for a healthy and active life. So the food diversity along with the nutritional security, food diversity in fact gives rise to nutritional security, and this finally leads to the food security. Now, we know that India has a wide crop diversity, and it is the beauty of our country that food diversity. We have a diverse culture and diverse food habits and diverse crop production across the country, and we have a diverse underutilized products which are mostly consumed by different parts, but then which are being not exploited to its potential, and we have huge potential in exploring this diversity for our food and nutritional security. So we know that we have lot of indigenous underutilized crops which are unique to our region as well as culture. So this can be promoted or value added to meet the nutritional requirement of our country. Now, why we need to promote the indigenous crops? Because basically, as I mentioned earlier, which is very important with respect to the food and nutritional security of the country, because it contributes to the micronutrient intake and sustainable diet. Because these are very rich source of micro nutrients as well as a lot of antioxidant bioactives, and the other important part. I mean, the beauty of these crops with respect to the cultivation is they are very resilient to climate changes, and then they adapt very well to the change in climate conditions, and they yield very good so that it can improve the livelihoods, and then it is also very important to use the local resources for the sustainable development. It leads to the conservation of biodiversity, and also these products can be converted into very innovative products and which boost the export potential. So in nutshell, it actually leads to the sustainable development of the sector. So this organization, that movement called Crops for Future, it support and promote indigenous species. If you see the graph, you can see India in the red color, which indicate that we have a wide diversity of indigenous crops which can be further utilized for value addition and sustainability. So these are some of the underutilized indigenous crops which we found across the country. This is just an example. We have n number of products which can be listed under this projects. And the beauty is that each region has its own underutilized, at least one or two underutilized crops which can be further exploited for the regional development. Now in today, I'll be basically focused on two crops, millets and jackfruit, but I'll be mostly talking about millets because I don't think I'll get much time to speak about jackfruit. So I'll be just giving some glimpse on jackfruit. So majorly, millets are, I would say that these are wonder crops, as you would also agree to this. And it has a very potential to exploit for our food security of the country. Because as I mentioned, like any other underutilized or indigenous crops, it is a sustainable food source. It can be used for combating hunger in changing world climate because they are very resilient to climate change, stress, pests and diseases. So they can be grown in any condition. They become adapted to any difficult situations. And second part is that coming to nutritional security, they are very rich source of micronutrients, very rich source of amino acids, proteins, and also most importantly, it is very rich source of bioactive components as well as dietary fiber. So this nutritional security is with respect to malnutrition, we have undernourished and overnourished. So when we see the overnourished, these bioactives as well dietary fiber, amino acid can play a very crucial role in maintaining management of these condition, overnutritious conditions. Now, because of this bioactive compounds as well as the other components like dietary fiber and amino acid, they can impart safety from diseases, and they are also gluten free. They have reported to be a low glycemic index, helps to reduce cardiovascular diseases, anemia, calcium deficiency, obesity, etc. Now, all these things finally contributes towards the economic security and sustainability, as these crops are climate resilient, as I have mentioning many times earlier, and also they are a sustainable income source. They need very low income for the production, and then it can be converted into n number of value-added products, the traditional products as well as innovative products, which can be lead to the innovative, economic gain. So these are some of the market shares of millets. India and China are the largest producer, and it account for more than 55% of the global production. In this chart, you can see that India hold almost 37% of the world production of millets, and then our main products are pearl millet as well as finger millet. Now, why millet? Why need to focus on millet? Because as I mentioned earlier, it is a very rich source of some of the bioactives and dietary fiber, which has lots of nutritional as well as other health promoting effects, properties. It has an impact related to preventing constipation, reduction of reducing the risk of diabetes, improving mental health because it contains high levels of tryptophan. It can also help in lowering cholesterol because of the presence high amount of niacin as well as the dietary fiber, and prevention of cardiovascular diseases, and all these are basically also related to the antioxidant capacity because it contains it's a very rich source of bioactive compounds. So altogether, there is a huge demand for millets all over the world, and also the millet based innovative products. And therefore, these cereals are renamed as nutri-cereals. And apart from food, it also has a multiple use as animal feed, fodder, industrial raw material, for example, bioethanol, pest-resistant crops, etc. And also, one thing I would like to highlight when it comes to millet is that it requires 5 liters of water. For example, if in the case of rice, if it requires 5,000 liters of water to grow, the millet requires only 250 to 300 liters. So in terms of environmental friendly agricultural cultivation, I think millets can play a very good, important role. And also, it offers a wide range of choices of healthy and convenient, ready to cook and ready to eat foods. There's a big scope for small scale processors for those who can invest small capital. So again, it leads to the sustainable development of the region. So millets can be converted into flour, pasta, porridge, semolina, vermicelli, etc. It can also be converted into products like bakery products like cakes, bread, flakes, sweets, biscuit, cookies can also be very successfully fully formulated using millets. Also, it can be converted into wine, beer, jaggery, bioethanol, etc. And also, sprouting the millets makes more minerals more bioavailable. So, the innovative products can have an export market with premium products, and also the stover after harvest can be used as a fodder to animals. So coming to the processing of small millets, actually with respect to other cereals, millets actually put forward lots of challenges because they are very small in sizes, and they have a very strong hull around the endosperm. So it is very difficult to process the millets, and we need to develop lot of, we have already developed a lot of indigenous machineries to process it, but then you need lot of automation in that. So as in the case of any post-harvest technologies, we require, we actually this can be processed into stages, that is primary processing and the secondary processing. Primary processing is basically, it is used for the improving grain quality or transform the grain into more useful form. So these are the some of the examples of primary processing. For example, cleaning, sorting, dehulling, grading, size reduction, store, and then drying, etc. comes under uh, primary processing. And then the secondary processing is where you are converting the products to more edible and ready to use form. Um, these are some of the secondary post harvest operations. Where the products like bakery products, the flakes and puffs are made out of this millets. So these becomes the secondary products, and these are some of the available products in the market based on millets. We have huge number of products, but then there are lot more innovative products. I'll be talking about products in the coming slides towards the end of my presentation. Now, we can say that millets are very smart foods. They are very good for the consumers because they can be utilized for overcoming some of the biggest nutritional and health problems, where rich source of iron, zinc, and calcium especially. Then it's good for farmers. It can increase yield up to threefold. It can have multiple uses like fodder. It can be used as a food, fodder, and fuel. And this is the last crop that can stand in times of drought because they are very resilient to adverse climatic conditions. And being a good risk management strategy for the farmers, it can be added, it can be utilized, or it can be exploited as a income generator, increased income generator from the farmers. And basically it is good for the planet because lower water footprint, and it is a pest resistant, and it's very important with respect to the existing conditions. And now with this, I'm coming to the next underutilized product, that is jackfruit. I'm not going to talk much about this. Jackfruit, we all know that it is again a wonder fruit. It is one of the biggest fruit in the world. It can be, except the thorns, the outside, everything can be utilized because, and also it can be utilized from the tender stage to the ripened stage, because tender stage, it is very good source of pectin, and also it can be utilized for making some innovative products like vegan meat. And then when it comes to the matured stage, you can use the entire part. The pulp, the bulb can be utilized for making pulp or preserves, or edible, or as a fruit. The seed can be utilized for making starch and other snacks. Then the jackfruit seed is one of the most wanted product. If you Google it, you can see, and also it is very rich in resistant starch. The waste of jackfruit can be actually exploited for making pectin. So it is, the wholesome fruit, you can say, and it is very rich in dietary fiber, very rich in bioactives, all the minerals and vitamins. But then that it is underutilized, right? There are not much products available in the market, but I think the scenario is very different now. There are a lot of attention has been given to this product for make it more sustainable, and then there is lot of demand for export actually, basically from the Gulf countries as well as the European countries. In Kerala, you can see that lots of jackfruit is being exported in different stages. Even for the tender jackfruit, there is a market. So what I feel that we should be giving more importance to the underutilized products for the sustainable development of the country, to tackle or to combat the malnutrition, as well as to improve our the nutritional diversity. And then um, uh, not only for nutritional diversity, I think our product can also, we can exploit our products, these underutilized products, to capture the future trends in the food market. For example, I'm just giving a couple of examples in terms of veggie trend and free from foods. Veggie, you all must be knowing that there is a movement towards vegan products. The people are becoming more conscious about, animal products in their food, so they want to avoid that. So that culture is, trending as a fashion. So there is an increased mobilization around vegan and plant-based diet. And then when you have the plant-based food, you also need to ensure that you are also getting the nutritional components that we are getting from the animal products. So you need to fine tune the vegan products in such a way that it actually satisfy your palate, and at the same time you are also getting your nutritional requirement. So there's a lot of opportunities here to convert our traditional and indigenous product to capture this market. Another market is the free from market. For example, free from gluten, free from lactose, free from allergens, free from peanut, free from sugar, free from egg, etc. So these are, opportunities for us. So we should also be look into the R&D inputs, how we can tailor make our indigenous food products to fit that in the international market, especially in these areas. So these are some of the meat analogs. So, I'm just giving some examples. You have tofu, you have egg substitute, you have milk substitute. All these products can be developed using our indigenous products. And here in CSA Ernest, we are actually working in this area. We are working on developing some of the milk substitutes using our traditional millets, and also we are also working on a butter substitute using fat substitute using these traditional products. These are some of the available vegan products in the market. Now, in nutshell, I just want to put forward that there are huge opportunities for utilizing our indigenous underutilized products, which are very diverse in nature uh, for the nutritional security, and that ultimately leads to the food security, sustainable development, and also we can think of future food trends and innovative products using this uh, traditional crops. Now, all these needs and intervention by advancement in plant science, where developing plant varieties that can meet the specific requirement coming in the market. So you need to develop the varieties that can actually serve to the demand which is raised by the future market, as well as the nutritional requirement. So with this, I just end my topic related to the today's presentation, and then also would like to introduce some of the products that we are or the research work we are currently focusing on in our institute. We are working on millets. We are also working on functional foods for combating malnutrition among women and child. These are some of the products in this line. So these are some of the products which we have developed from jackfruit, and also some of the functional beverages. These are from some of the ready to serve products from banana, and these basic we have lot of research activities going on. So most of the researchers are in collaboration with industry, so that we have some confidentiality agreement, so I cannot go to the details of that. But all these research activities are done with the help of a vibrant team. So I'm very thankful to my students for supporting in all our research activities. And with this, I thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity, and thank you very much for your patient listening. I'm open for the discussion now. Thank you. Hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible, but probably the organizing secretaries are not getting you properly. Dr. Mathur or Dr. Roy, are you there? Okay. Somehow they are not getting you properly. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, thank you very much for this, opportunity, and thank you all. So I think with your permission, can I leave the meeting?
No, just a minute. They will
Yeah,
definitely
sure, sure.
officially they'll declare. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm in the
Okay.
participation mode. Okay.
All right, fine.
Something internet issues has happened. I think. Uh, Piyush, are you there? Hello. Okay. So,
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Hello. Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah, please carry on. Please carry on.
Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Please.
ma'am.
I'll be very happy.
In your last slide, in your last slide, you are telling about you have developed some product from the jackfruit. What are those
Yes.
products?
We have a vegan meat substitute, basically, and then we have a lot of dehydrated products and ready to eat products. We have dehydrated ripened fruit which is preserved in honey, which can be used as a savory and dessert. Um, uh, we also have grits, like how you have those flakes, which can be consumed with other milk and other products. These are these are the products which actually the technology we can offer now currently.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And
Uh,
whether
we,
the products are available in market? When
uh,
whether the products are available in market?
Actually, it is two of the products are in the market, like that jackfruit in honey. The dehydrated jackfruit honey is already there in the market, and also we have ready to eat it's ready to cook and eat. Instant jackfruit bulbs, which as a curry you can use. That is also there in the market. We have transferred to 2 companies. They are actually marketing it here.
It is a ripened jackfruit, no ma'am?
One is ripened and one is the mature jackfruit. Just before the ripening, we use it for curries. So that is there. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
It's welcome.
Welcome. Hello, ma'am. This is Dr. Piyush Mathur, Joint Organizing Secretary. Sorry for the
Yeah.
inconvenience. Actually, there is some network problem. We were not
That's okay. Yeah. No issues.
committee.
না ওই লিঙ্কটা ওই যে মিটিংটা ছিলাম সেই মিটিংটা কোথায় হ্যালো হ্যালো
Yeah. Hello. You're audible, sir. Please go ahead.
there are some technical problems, sorry madam, very much.
It happens with these online platforms.
Okay, okay. Very nice presentation by Dr. T. Nisa, and I also grateful to you that very much your topic is very much related to our theme of the seminar. And any queries or questions from anyone from audience, sir, please.
I
Anyone?
answered one query already.
Okay.
There was a query, so I have given the answer to. Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry
very
for
much,
sorry
Mr.
for
Krishna.
inconvenience, madam.
No, not at all, not at all. So can I leave the meeting now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much, and all the best for the rest of the seminar.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you. So our next speaker is Dr. Professor Vivekananda Mondal. Am I audible, Vivekananda Mondal?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry for inconvenience, Vivekananda Mondal.
No, it's fine.
So I just introduce our another lead speaker. He is from Gorbong University, Professor Vivekananda Mondal. He started his job as assistant professor, probably Darjeeling Government College, and now he is professor of Gorbong University, Malda, and work experience is very large, and he is very much engaged in some administrative experience, and probably presently head of the department of the botany undergraduate, and also coordinator, EC member, board member, etc. And research guidance, he already guided his scholar 5 PhD awarded, and now working 6, and MPhil awarded 2, and teaching experience both undergraduate and postgraduate almost about 15 years. And the research project handled by team 5, and research interest is develop some biosynthesized antimicrobials applicable for food preservation, crop protection, and infection disease, and etc. And research publications is almost published peer-reviewed journal 34, books probably, am I correct? 1, and chapter of books is 12. And he is also member of some academics, life member of the Association of Microbiologists in India since 2007. So welcome, Dr. Professor Vivekananda Mondal, and we are grateful to you to accept our invitation to deliver a lecture. There are some technical problems, and sorry for that. So please, please.
No issue. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Again, Keshwanreddy, our senior, and as I told the Ganda. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
giving me an opportunity to deliver a lecture, a presentation in this very important national seminar, today's national seminar. Okay, so very good morning to all of you. May I start the presentation session?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, slide is visible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can see here.
Yes.
Okay, so
you
very
can
good
proceed.
morning
Yes.
to all of you. Today, this is a great privilege to me. I am really thankful to the department of all that organizing secretaries, the co-chairmen, and that our patrons, the patrons, for giving me an opportunity to deliver a talk on this topic. The presentation, the topic title is the Symbiotics, a boon and boost for the healthy lifestyle. So, uh, already we are having some important lectures as delivered by uh, Dr. P. Nisha in the last session. So the healthy lifestyle is a big challenge nowadays, and we are just having a different health issues, and this is a burning problem for our nowadays to tackle to be healthy in the future days. Okay, so to start with this is the abstract session as I have submitted in the for this presentation session. The few important terminologies are there. That is a symbiotic is a combinations of a uh, probiotic like beneficial microorganisms along with some food ingredients that helps to sustain, that helps to proliferate, and also to exert a good health response inside the body system, and that is called the symbiotics. So a combination of both the food ingredients as well as the live microbial supplementation is nowadays a big trend to modulate the body system, our health system, and to achieve a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so to cover up this topic, I'll go through some in a little bit of an awareness mode, because little this lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle is a problem that we must understood. We realize, okay, apart from the basic science, we have to go through this. So there are a few important terminology that will be repeatedly talked on this. That is a healthy lifestyle. What does it mean? It's a lifestyle. It's one which helps to keep and improve the people's health and well-beings and overcome lots of stress. So this job oriented stress that our daily needs, everything are burning problem, and this is ever increasing as we are experiencing day by day. So the healthy lifestyle is such a type of programming of your daily foods and that the practices, so that you can have a less amount of stress and you will have a better life, that is lifestyle. So life expectancy is the number of years of a person is expected to live based on their present age. So this is also an estimation. I will focus on some estimation that we are having a bigger expectancy, life expectancy, and that is and that probiotics is the terminology as per the definitions. That is a live microorganism that, when administered in adequate amounts, confer a good benefits to the host. And the prebiotics are the food ingredients, a selectively fermented ingredients that results in specific changes in the compositions and the activities of the gastrointestinal microbiota, thus conferring a benefit upon the host health. So this is a scenario. The recent population growth has been highest in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and these are the some photomicrographs I have adopted from the Googles and different that the government agencies for they are focusing on that overall the global health issues. Okay, so this is the population growth between the 2010 to 2017, and India is like this position. Okay, so in comparison to the other state, we are having a little bit of a high population growth rate than compared to other parts. And this is the global burden of the lifestyle diseases. You see, this is the cardiovascular diseases, this one, and this cancer is here, respiratory diseases is here, and the diabetes is also, and then your other diseases like this. So what we are seeing here, the cardiovascular disease is a big problem. Is a major lethal factor for that entire this global population, and we have to think for to mitigate, to minimize that cardiovascular diseases in such a way that so that we have a better life expectancy and better healthy life. Okay, so this is our the data that the 10 global causes of the death in 2019 is that your ischemic heart diseases, stroke, chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases (COPD), or lower respiratory infections, neonatal conditions. So these are the some diarrheal diseases. Diabetes mellitus is also there, and also the kidney diseases. So most of the cases we are seeing here that are somehow related to our diets. That is the theme of the present national seminar, that the diet issue. So life expectancy of that present day life expectancy is 73.4 years. So on an average, that a global populations or an human individual is surviving for 73 years. Uh, so, and within this, if you just consider that life term, majority of the time they are thinking for their health burden or health challenges, like that they're suffering from the different diseases. They are or having some irregularities in the health issues, resulting in unhappiness overall, and also that a huge financial burden to the family as well as to the government to bear with this situation. So the mortality rate is like this: 8.9 million deaths are attributed to the ischemic heart diseases in 2009. So such a huge one, that is the ischemic heart disease can cause lethality, and this is basically due to that the diet, the food, and constituents are the things. So what we are seeing here, this is the factors. The physical inactivity is the factor. The alcohol abuse is the factor. The tobacco is the factor. And also, this is important. This is our study area, unhealthy diets. So as a result of all these important factors, their outcomes is coming out. This is heart the disease and the stroke, the diabetes, the cancer, the chronic lung diseases, and other non-communicable diseases here. So, a lifestyle can induce a great number of diseases. You see here, that is also again that the heart disease, stroke, diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome, COPD, and some cancers is also there. So, if we just consider, if we just try to understand what is the today's health issues, the causes inside, you are seeing here that these are the issues that are coming from our food. That is, we are using a processed food, and also that is our the study, that our job, all our the environment is creating a stress. Lack of sleep is also, that is a behavioral part. Smoking and alcohol, lack of socializations, inactivity, that is also the major concern, and unhealthy diets. So processed food and the unhealthy diets, they are the major important factors that is important for our consideration, and that must be we focused to survive in better way or in a healthy way. So resulting in this way, so these are the parameters. Okay, anxiety. We are most of the cases we are suffering from anxiety. We are also having some thyroid diseases. Okay, and also that some hormonal imbalances like your low this your birth rate or miscarriages like this, and also this is the hypertension. So the factors are there. Okay, and how we have to mitigate, how we can minimize this sort of the problems, that is our the challenge. That is that the science should direct on this way so that we can minimize the crisis factor. So these are some important pictures. Mean global cholesterol, cholesterol. Okay, in 2008, this is the scenario of India, in others. Okay, so that your blood cholesterol level is high in the advanced countries, comparatively less in India and other adjoining areas, but still we are having cholesterol. We are now at this condition. We can consider the one of or the two of our family members having a cholesterol as an issue, and that is needing medications to combat this disease. This is our male ratio. I am showing you. This is our the both sexes. Okay, this is our raised fasting blood sugar level in 2014 database above 18 years age. So India is in this condition. That is 7.5 to 9.9. We are having an elevated fasting blood glucose level. Okay, so that is also the cause for that our diabetes and also that our obesity like factors. So prevalence of the raised blood sugar above this, the male one, this is our the female one, this is our both sexes, and this is our body mass index. Body mass index, that means length, the weight by your body length. That is the kg per meter squared scale. So India having an average of body mass index of 22.5. In comparison to the other states, you see, like this one, United States or the lower part of the America, these are having a greater than 30. So obesity is a global problem. The body mass index is also the global problem, and that can also be mitigated or can be controlled through our diets, through our food regulations. So this is a prevalence of the inactivity among the school-going adolescents in between 17 to 11 to 17. You see here, the India is comparatively prevalence is this. Okay, inactivity is comparatively less, whereas in other countries there is quite high. So the lack of physical activity is also an important issue for our this lifestyle diseases. Uh, okay, and this is the physical prevalence of the physical inactivity above 18 plus. So India is having a score value of this. You see the contrasting picture. We are in the early childhood, we have a good this physical activity, whereas in case of our this 18 plus ages, we have a higher prevalence and the percentage fall down to the 20%. So that is our concern, that we have to maintain a good health conditions or good physical activity to have a healthy life in our future days. So prevalence of the obesity above 18 plus, this is our the scenario. This is our the overweight of the male of this group. This is our the female group. You see there is some color code changes. So males are comparatively having a less amount of the overweight issue because of there may be some hard work, maybe some hard work, I'm not sure. But the females are also suffering from the overweight issues. Okay, and this is a prevalence of the raised blood pressure in the female, and this is the deaths due to the non-communicable diseases. That is the scale value. So what we are seeing here, that the most of the cases, this all these are blood profiles or blood parameters, body mass index, or your these are the issues that are coming from our diet, and that should be controlled. So healthy life expectancy in 2017. You see, here is the scale of that our Indian perspective in comparison to the others. So though they are having a higher obesity, but they have a greater life expectancy. Okay, because of some medications, because of some health facilities. But in India, the average this life expectancy is here. So if the trend continues in between the 2016 to 2040, we'll see the India will reach to this position. Okay, having this much of scale. So there is we have a high demand to have a good health or a higher life expectancy by 2040, and that needs to be so but that should be tackled with some good health practices so that we can face a long life. So this is the graphical presentations between this is the female and this is the male scale, and this is the potential loss of life due to that our the key risk factors like your body mass index, the leading one, and the high blood pressure is also the leading one, high blood sugar, followed by smoking, then abatic particulate matters, that is pollution, alcohol use, high total cholesterol is also here, and that is your kidney function. This is the major challenge. Okay, but because that our food habit is killing that kidneys. That these are the factors, but the collapsing that our or different organs, and this is the kidneys and the intestines are facing due to that our food practices, odd food practices. So the impaired kidney function is also an alarming issue. Diet high in sodium, and also the short gestational of the birth weight. So these are the some potential loss of life factors that are contributing to this way. Okay, so leading causes of the early death in 1990 and 2017. You see here, into 1990, we have a neonatal disorder is the number one, followed by lower respiratory infections, diarrheal diseases, ischemic heart diseases, like this way. I'm not repeating you. Okay, what we are seeing here, that is our stroke is in the position 5, ischemic heart disease in the 4, or your that is your this your the congenital birth disease. But what we are seeing here in 2017, the figures has just reverses back. Ischemic heart disease becomes the one of the leading causes of the death, followed by the neonatal disorder, then stroke, then your lower respiratory infections, diarrheal diseases, like this way. So what we are seeing here, that in 2040, the scenario, what do we see? If we see, this is global mortality from the cardiovascular diseases to in between 2007 2017, and this is increasing in an alarming rate. That is to be emphasized here. So leading cause of the early death in 2016 and 2040, what would be our future? Again, this is the prediction shows that the ischemic heart disease, the stroke, the lower respiratory rate, and COPD, kidney diseases, Alzheimer disease, diabetes will be, and also the lung cancer, that this will be the leading cause of death of the human beings in 2040. Okay, so if we just see this type of graph, what will be our understanding? What will be our decisions for the future days? That is the point of our discussion in this presentation. The present understanding on these results is this, that is the chronic stress is the important contributors. In the early since our early childhood, maybe our study plans, maybe our the jobs, maybe our some job opportunities also, that our job environment creates a chronic stress that results in the activations of the pituitary glands, releases of the adaptive hormones. Okay, so as a result of this, that causes suppresses the energy productions. So due to these imbalances in the hormonal activities or hormonal secretions, we are having a suppress of the energy productions, suppress of thyroid, decreases carbon dioxide, releases free fatty acids. So that results in that our obesity like problem. So ultimately, that leads to our chronic diseases like excessive tissue degradation, inflammations, and many other things. So inflammation is a syndrome-like behavior. So once the system is disturbed, it can it can invite many more diseases to come and to play a strong role to cause an unhealthy this year life beings. Okay, so could we our food mitigate this crisis? That is the question of this hour. Let's think for this. We know this is the terminologies like probiotics. These are the live microbial supplements that are being regularly suggested by the doctors. But what we are seeing here in our normal health status, or whenever we are having a good or that is what to say, that is your healthy status, we do not use the probiotics as our daily food. So we only just consume the probiotics like food sources when we are the doctors prescribe for us. So if we can take this as a factor, that can also solve our future crisis. These are the important organisms that are causing, that are used as a probiotic, that is bifidobacteria. This is lactobacillus is there, and also lactococcus species are there. But if we compare the amount of the research publications or the research work done on these organisms, you see the lactobacillus is the leading one. So most of the research focuses that lactobacillus as the one of the potential these probiotic strains to have a good health contributions, followed by this your bifidobacterium, and lactococcus is here. Okay, so yeah, we are using the two terminologies here: the starter culture lactobacillus and starter culture lactococcus. What does it mean? That can we add this type of probiotic organisms in our daily food preparations, or can we use this in our daily household processing, so that we can have a good amount of the probiotic food or supplements to mitigate to have a better health in the future days. Okay, so research focus on the probiotics, prebiotics, and the symbiotics since 1940, since our independence time. What we are seeing here, that this probiotics is a terminology that started quite earlier, beyond 1947, and followed by our prebiotics also started. But a combination therapy, combination perspective of both the probiotics and the prebiotic is a very recent one. It started around 1990s, and the amount of the focus of the symbiotics to use in our daily lives or to have a better health pattern is a less emphasized research area. That's why we have considered this topic as our important research studies for our future days. So according to this, our International Scientific Association for Probiotics and the Prebiotics, that the prebiotics are the consensus, that is definition is this: a mixture of comprising live microorganisms and substrates selectively utilized by the host microorganism that confer a health benefit on the host. So alone the probiotic preparation or along a prebiotic preparation could not exert so much benefit. So if we can design a symbiotic type of concept, just preparing a probiotics with the prebiotics, that can be a better options to control or to have a better health issues in the future days. So let's see the present trend, the economics of the probiotic, prebiotic, and the symbiotics, a leading market trend. North America is the most getting the revenues from this type of probiotic, prebiotic, symbiotic marketing, followed by that our Europe, and this Asia Pacific is here, South America is here, and also Middle East and Africa is here. So what we are seeing here, the consensus people, or that our educated or the aware people that is having some awareness regarding the food, they are having a better scope of the research, or also that a better applications of this type of food applications or functional foods in their daily diet. In comparison to this, we have a comparatively less amount of the applications, but it's a big potential area. We can marketize, we can develop some revenue generation from this area. So global probiotic market by product applications is here. You see, this is the functional, as a probiotic is used as a functional food. This is our dietary supplementation, and this is our as an also animal food. We are having some pets that are domestic animals, and also that our aquaculture like animals that can also be used as a probiotic as a supplementation. Okay, so this is about the global market insights. You see, in 2018, that's the $2 billion revenues are earned from the probiotics. In 2026, it would be around $3.5 billion. So the trend shows that there is a sharp change in the sense of that our probiotic, prebiotic, and symbiotic applications, marketization, and also the revenue generation to develop the industries or to have a better future. Okay, so the functional foods and dietary supplements are like these percentages are there here. So global probiotics animal feed market. This is also another trend. So the domestic animals are being nowadays being imposed or being applied with the different types of prebiotics or probiotics, symbiotics formulations to that, so that we can get a better the output or the revenue generation from the sources. So how the probiotics, prebiotics do in betterment of the health? Let's come to the little bit of the scientific insights of this topic. So a probiotics is a live microbial organism that is also residing in our, but we are selectively adding this type of beneficial microorganisms to have a better colonization in the host, to have a better microbiota in the intestine. As a result of the persistent colonization in the intestine, they can modulate, that is the immune system. They can produce antibody responses, and that is trigger antibody responses, reduces inflammatory problems, stimulate the phagocytosis. So thus this way they can also impose our better immune response after application of the probiotics. They can also interact with the gut microbiota, having antimicrobial, so they can kill the pathogenic microbes in the gut that is causing your irritable bowel disease or your diarrheal type of disease type of problem can be mitigated also. So cross-feeding like this. So produce organic acid that lactate, propionate, and these are the free fatty acids that also trigger a good health sense in our body system, and reduces the colonic pH, improves that is butyrate like free fatty acids in the intestine. So I'm not going in details. These are some more small molecules that are being synthesized or produced of the probiotic organism in our gut system, like that is our cortisols, serotonin, GABA. These are the neurochemicals, neurostimulators. So using or synthesizing these sort of our factors, they can regulate the neural functions in an ideal way. The tryptophan and the histamines and derivatives also produced. So that also creates a satiety hormones, and that's feeling having this full belly sense. Okay, and the conjugated linoleic also this is called our nowadays this is called our omega-3 fatty acid group these organic acids, okay, or fatty acids. So they are having a plentiful role inside our intestine, and they if we just consume the probiotics, if we have a good relations or have a intestine having a good probiotic populations, it can modulate, it can have exert a good health in our future. Okay, so functions of the probiotic and the prebiotic. In contrast to this probiotic role, prebiotics are the particular type of food ingredients that stimulate the probiotic organism to be colonized to have a better population. Also, they enhances the production of the short chain fatty acids, improves calcium absorption, improve lipid metabolism and glucose homeostasis. So as we have seen in the last slide, the lipid metabolism, the impaired blood cholesterol, that all these are the factors. So prebiotics can impose, can regulate this type of lipids or excess lipid in our food system. And also it can regulate the glucose homeostasis. That means the elevated blood sugar can be reduced, adding the prebiotics in our supplementation. So inhibit the pathogenic bacteria, improves the intestinal barrier functions, and also improves immune system. So if we just make it a bridge between the probiotics and the prebiotics, resulting in a symbiotics, we can have a multitude of the benefits to have a healthy life, and also to get a better health in the future days. So the selective, what is that our prebiotics are doing? That the prebiotics are selectively, these are the factors, that is our oligosaccharides, phenolics, some phytochemicals also there, some fruit oligosaccharides, inulins, glucose oligosaccharide, maltose oligosaccharide, and xylose oligosaccharides. These oligosaccharides are the beautiful area of the research that can be a good prebiotic candidate. Okay. In addition to this, we also observe that phenolics and other phytochemicals can also reduce the diabetes or that this sort of our problem. And the non-prebiotics are basically the proteins, the common fats, okay, that are just imposing our health system in a different way. So putative probiotic streams, how we can have get a probiotic streams from our daily needs. So we are trying on we are doing some research on this part, and I have found important organisms from our these fermented food sources as our protective probiotic or strain that can be used for our future this purposes. So we started the journey on this probiotic, prebiotic, or the symbiotic research in 2005. In that time, we have used the Pediococcus acidilactici, one of the important this lactic acid bacteria organism isolated from the food sources, have a this our the cholesterol removal capacity. And if you say in comparison to, in addition to this, we are using some commercial prebiotics like mannitol, maltodextrins, and others sorbitol. And what you're seeing here, that mannitol, this your and that maltodextrin can reduce the better results. And a symbiotic or symbiotic formulation between this your pediococcus and the symbiotics have a better this cholesterol content regulations. So and also that intestinal microscopy through a scanning electron shows that our symbiotic formulations can result a better bacterial colonization in compared to the probiotic alone, and this is the untreated control. So that evidence shows that a symbiotic is a direct benefit to that probiotic organism and could exert a better population, microbial population in the gut system. So this is our present research. In subsequently, we have developed little bit of this is the two important strains that we are working. That is Lactococcus lactis, and one is Lab 17 and Lab B11. So these two organisms we are working as a probiotic organism because as we have seen in the last graph, that lactococci are the less emphasized probiotic organism. Though this is a good organism for the starter culture, but it has not been exploited as a probiotic organism in the last few decades. That's why we targeted the Lactococcus lactis as an important probiotic organism to decipher their properties. Okay, these are some important areas. They can survive in the gastrointestinal pH conditions. This is the simulation of the gastric conditions, and they have a good survivability in this condition. So these are the statistical interpretation of the data. So what we are seeing here, if you just repeat it in the previous graph, that a combination. So in comparison to this, okay. So this is our untreated control. This is our treated control. We have some sharp drop but they can also survive in a big numbers of CFA values. So coming to the next part, that whether they can form a biofilm or aggregate or co-aggregate in the intestine, because the intestine is in a heterogeneous populations of the microorganisms. So it should colonize, it should create an association with the other microorganisms to colonize in the intestine. So the result shows that they have a good auto aggregation property, and that's also the co-aggregation property. Along with that, keeping the targets as the pathogenic organisms, and also some intestinal these organisms. So this data also shows that this is a co-aggregations between that our the lab 17. This is a lab 17. This is lab B11. Previous one, that lab B11. This is the hydrophobicity index of the organism, so that they can interact with the intestinal membrane to adhere to the surface, and that indicates they have a good adhering property in that our this hydrophobic this solvent like NHN, but they have a little bit of a reverse one in the xylene conditions. Okay, so and also that there is a media specificity, media specific this binding. So if you can modulate the food system, that is whether we are having a lactose or a lactose free, we are seeing that the lactose free is getting a more hydrophobicity index, whereas in case of our lab 17, the addition of lactose have a better hydrophobicity index. So that's a simple that one ingredients in our food system, that is having a lactose or without lactose, can also regulate the intestinal interactions with the probiotic microorganisms. This is the probiotic molecular probiotic properties we are working. What you're seeing here, the shortage is basically just a host interacting protein that is being synthesized in the cell wall. And we are seeing here that lab 17 is not producing the sortase A, whereas it produces the enolase, and lab B11 produces also the enolase. So these molecular data also proves that the supports the earlier observation that it's also having a genetic capacity to be a potential probiotic adherence or the colonizing organism if we apply in the intestine. So this is the in vivo applications of the organism in the mice model, Swiss albino mice. And we are seeing here that the applications of that our combination of the probiotic and inulin and the food oligosaccharides can regulate the blood sugar, can reduce the cholesterol, and can improves that our high density lipoproteins. That is a very much good the cholesterols, and these are the bad cholesterol. So they can grossly minimize the bad cholesterol here and can improve the good cholesterol like HDL in our blood system if we apply. This is the reflections of the immune study, and that is gut immune system is relying on that IgA, and we are seeing here a combination of our these probiotics with the inulin like our this prebiotics can generate a significant amount of immune stimulation in comparison to the commercially available prebiotic sachet. We have used this probiotic commercial sachet from that our this pharmaceutical outlets, and compared with the value, we are seeing here that our probiotics along with our standard prebiotic like inulin could also result a better immune system in the mice model. This is the intestinal colonization system studied by scanning electron FESEM studies. So what I'm seeing here, this D is a figure that is the both strain colonize significantly because of the autoaggregation properties and also the co-aggregation properties. They can colonize in the intestine, and also this is the commercial prebiotic consortium in that our F. If we just take a bulk amount of the sachet from the market, this probiotic organism is here. But in comparison to this, that our probiotic organism along with the inulin can also exert a good colonization in the intestine system. So prebiotics, the discovery of the prebiotics from the traditional foods. Here we have considered the two important prebiotic traditional food sources. One is called Dioscorea alata, commonly known as water yam. It's a member of the Dioscoreaceae. So Dioscoreaceae or Dioscorea are this tuber. This is elephant foot-like tuber is a important source of carbohydrates. It's a very rich in carbohydrate. we have used this organism, the plant sources for our isolation and characterization of prebiotic fructooligosaccharides. This is the HPTLC comparisons of the monosaccharide compositions of the your fructooligosaccharides extracted from that Dioscorea root, this tuber. That values here, the hot water extract and the ethanol extract we are seeing here. This ethanol extract is commonly used in the industrial scale, and this our hot water extract, that is the common conventional cooking system we are using. That means boiling and preparation of our Dioscorea tuber for our daily needs. What we are seeing here, that both of the process can generate a significant amount of prebiotic, like this some of the substrate like phos in our diet if we just consume regularly. Whether you are collecting from the market as a processed FOS or just simply consume as a boiled this Dioscorea root tuber, you can also get a plentiful of your prebiotic sources in your daily diet. So these are some ESI mass spectra that this data proves that there are very much similar with the inulin-like fructooligosaccharides. But in addition to these, they are also contain some other these oligosaccharides that yet to be discovered, yet to be characterized. Subsequently, we'll go for this, and we'll report that there will be some additional fructooligosaccharides in addition to the inulin in the present in that our Dioscorea tuber. So if we just apply this type of fructooligosaccharides in our animal model, we are seeing here, this is our in vitro model, we are seeing here they can also induce that the probiotic survivability. So this is called that our this prebiotic index. The value is called the prebiotic index. Now seeing here, this is our inulin, this is our the two fractions like hot water and the ethanol fractions. They are quite comparable, competent enough to be a good prebiotic. And this in vitro trial also showing. They are also having a good cholesterol binding property. This is the antioxidant property commonly we do as a DPPA scavenging activity, and seeing it a good antioxidant property. So symbiotic trials in the animal models. What we are seeing here again, the Dioscorea alata. This ethanol and the hot water extract along with the labs can generate or can stimulate the high density lipoproteins or cholesterols. Okay, and this is the serum cholesterol that can also regulate the blood cholesterol, the sugar. So the result shows that, and also they have a greater immune stimulation than comparison to our inulins. So this prebiotic sources from our Dioscorea could be a leading prebiotics in the future days. This is the symbiotic statistical analysis of the symbiotic attributes. This is the gut colonization. That also again reflects this is the combined treatment between the prebiotic Dioscorea along with the probiotic lab we are using this strain and having a better colonization in the intestine. Now coming to the another important plant sources as our prebiotic food constituents, we are using the Sechia medule. As you know that the North Bengal is very much popular area for the schools, as we know. So Sechia medule, the root of the Sechia medule is popularly consumed by the ethnic people of the Darjeeling or the traditional foothill areas. And we targeted this root portion of Sechia medule for their prebiotic properties. What we are seeing here, that again, like the previous one, I'm not repeating the same one, they also can exert a good cholesterol balance, can also have a significant amount of recovery using a hot water versus ethanol extraction, and can also have, and these are the oligosaccharide fractions as detected in the HPLC analysis. So the symbiotic trials in the animal model, they shows that again that they can also promote a good colonization in the intestine. So this is again the repetition of the characterization. Again, the immune response of the gut due to that our Sechia medule as a prebiotic source or fructooligosaccharides from the Sechia medule can have a better immune stimulation in the gut than compared to that our inulin like commercial prebiotic. This is again the comparison of that our ESI mass spectra, and again it shows that it is quite inulin like, but again that's some additional fraction. You see that this is our standard inulin is here. This is this is our ethanol fractions. This is our hot water fractions. So hot water fractions having a more amount of the prebiotic sources than that our ethanol fractions, and this is quite similar with our like fructose oligosaccharides. So our studies reveal that both the fermented foodborne, this Lactococcus lactis strains, that is lab 17, lab B11, again in the earlier, that is Pediococcus acidilactis lab 5, have a good probiotic properties to be used in the hypocholesteremic and also having hypocholesteremic as well as the good bacterial colonization and also IgA mediated gut modulation study. And also that can regulate, can lower the triglyceride, there's low density cholesterol or very low density cholesterols, and can significantly enhances the high density cholesterols. The tuber of the Dioscorea are rich in inulin and fructooligosaccharides. Similarly, the tubers of that our Sechia medule, that a tuberous root, is also rich in fructooligosaccharides that could be used as a traditional or conventional food ingredients for our daily needs, and that can exert a good health in our future days. Okay, so thus the study concludes that the low-cost edible tuber of Dioscorea alata and also the tuberous root of the Sechia medule could be used as the prebiotics in our daily life to exert a hypocholesteremic effect. So this is the first study. This is the first report on this Dioscorea alata and also the Sechia medule to have an inulin-like probiotic properties from these traditional. So for our healthy, as we have taken the terminology as our lifestyle, we have to change our old habits, because by this time we have physical activities and all these databases shows that we have a very much reduced physical activities. We have an randomized food consumption trials like junk foods, like our ready-made foods, like highly processed foods. So we have to remove some old habits like this and have to develop some good habits so that we can reach a healthy lifestyle. And we have to have some regular physical activities, as we have marked here, that physical activities can impose, can result in a better healthy lifestyle. So again, another important emphasis I want to mention here, that the childhood feeding system should be monitored, should be, because the obesity like problems like the health issues started quite earlier in our childhood. So because of that, the changes in the practices in this daily activities, as well as some gadgets like mobiles, TVs, and other things, and also the stressful study life. So we have to think that the healthy eating practice or the kids healthy eating plated, the also have to focus on this. So let's impose some more vegetables, more foods on that part, so that they have a better this our intestinal microbial colonization in the intestine and should have a better health. So another important is this: very often we have a practice to consume junk food. Okay, so this is also the major challenge for our this healthy lifestyle. So if we just determine, if you have some sense that this food can pose some health risk, let's say no to this. Otherwise, you will not be able to control your the health problem in the future days. So ultimately results, otherwise you will have a obesity, and you will face that type 2 diabetes, hyperlipidemia, obstructive sleep apnea. This is another major problem. The most of the people are having a low amount of the sleep or the deep sleep due to this type of obesity, like this issue. And also there is the osteoarthritis, because the processed food preparation we are using here nowadays, and this is also the hypertension, so ultimately resulting in the obesity. So we have to think for to change, to mitigate this one. Now, how we can get it? Apart from this Sechia medule and also the Dioscorea, we have our very good practices of consuming a big numbers of fruits like chicory root or garlic, onions, leeks, okay, or bananas. So let's emphasize all these foods to be consumed regularly, not in a once in a week or a once in a month. Take it as regularly, so that you can have a better prebiotic supply in your food system, or have a prebiotic source in the intestine, and your probiotic organism, your intestinal probiotic organism will survive in a bigger population size. Okay, so these are our some publications in this domain. So recently we have two important publications, one from the Dioscorea alata, another from our this journal of the food biochemistry, and recently also worked on this antimicrobial properties of the Pediococcus acti. In addition to this, we also worked on the anti-diabetic property. That is Rakhi is there, Dr. Rakhi Chakraborty. She did his work on the Listeria equivava, and we observed that the phytochemicals from this type of traditional, this ethnomedicinal plant could also exert hypoglycemic antioxidative activities. So if we can add this type of this medicinal this constituents in our daily life, we can also regulate our this obesity or the healthy obesity like health issues, like diabetic like health issues, and can mitigate the health burden or health problem. Okay, so this is our the third. I am very much thankful, Professor Narayan Chandra Mandal, a distinguished professor in the Department of Botany in Department of Vishwabharati University, and we started the work in 2005 as a symbiotic one, and this is the Biplov. This is the third generation. We are working on the symbiotic therapy, and these are our distinguished scholars who have contributed in the study of this symbiotic research. Prasanto is there for the statistical analysis, Raisekar for our molecular analysis, and this Vivek and also Asutosh is there for that our in vitro probiotic assessment studies. So I'm thankful to enter these team members for their valuable contributions to discover this set of fructo oligosaccharide from the traditional food sources, and we hope this type of food sources could result in a better healthy lifestyle. Thank you very much for your patience and nice hearing. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Very nice presentation by Professor Vivekananda Mondal, and nicely matched his topic, a boon and boost for the healthy life cycle, and good and nicely displayed slide also you have seen. So, any question from anyone? Any queries?
Thank you very much, Professor Mondal. Myself,
Okay.
Professor Navakumar Mondal from Bardhaman University.
Welcome, Navakumar Mondal. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Hi.
Thank you for your wonderful, lecture and your wonderful research. Actually, last couple of years, we are, encountering some of the interesting, material which is used in our food system, especially in Chinese food.
Yes.
As you know that the Chinese food has a special attraction. Whenever you go near the Chinese restaurant,
Yes.
the restaurant itself, attracts just like a magnet. Okay. So what are the mystery behind that? That one of the most important component called MSG, monosodium glutamate.
Yes.
I hope that you agree with me.
That is mixed with chow mein.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
So I want to know to a little bit know more about the monosodium glutamate. Why it has so much attractive power?
Yeah.
Sir, can you enlighten us with this particular topic?
Okay, so that's a good question. So monosodium glutamate is commonly used as our preservative. Okay, this is having a strong antimicrobial property. So that process that as we know, the chow mein, the process this is being boiled and kept for a long time in our open space, and that allows that is our airborne microbes or that waterborne microbes to be proliferated. So using this monosodium glutamate, they can just minimize that spoilage of this sort of foods, and also helps in a better preservation of subsequent. If there is some unsold food, that can be also be sold in the next day. And another important issue is there that monosodium glutamate having some signing, maybe some interacting with our this food constituent after cooking process, it is having some signing
Glossy
texture.
appearance.
Glassy
Yes.
appearance. That also creates some. We are very much fond of having some food constituents which is having a good look, attractive appearance.
Yes.
So this monosodium glutamate also it's not having any direct taste issues, but that creates some our physical attractions through our sight, and also that creates a benefit to the sellers to have a long the preservation time of this type of starchy food sources.
But have there any side effects?
No.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the leading,
Definitely.
leading gastrointestinal cancer this cancer agent. So
Yes. That's good. Actually, I want to know that when these material are used in food system, is there any chance that this material can transform to any metabolic process to give some dangerous product which may be danger for the human life?
Mm,
Internal
yeah,
organism.
that's a good suggestion. I accept your opinion. I accept your this suggestion. We have not worked on this part, but definitely we will work on this monosodium glutamate as an ingredient in our fermentation system, in
Yeah.
our probiotics. Yeah, that can
Sir,
be a good
sir,
good.
your lecture is so interesting. Lot of information in this moment
Yes, yes.
come in
Thank
my
you, sir.
And
mind.
lot of live slide also, lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
analysis
yeah.
also is there.
Last couple of months I have also gone through some of the articles that the bread, which is bread is available in the market, is a ready-made
Yeah.
bread.
Hmm.
It is danger for us. But due to lack of time and we are so fast that we have no enough time to prepare our food, and
Yes.
we are always getting ready-made
Yes.
product. So
Yes.
that way, preferably we prefer that bread. But can you suggest something that whether we can consume the too much bread or how much it can danger for our life?
No, actually, the issues is this: the bread is commonly we are preparing as our this buttery bread for our childhood time. Okay, but for the school going children are being offered to have a bread butter, or we are just prepared as it. But if we can add some factors like oats in replacing this type of food source as a tiffin material, that can be a good substitution. Okay, so we have to think for the fibrous food constituents, because bread is a processed one in the sense. Nowadays we have also the atta free bread, or having a high amount of fiber containing bread,
That is
a
brown
little bit
bread.
of
Yes.
costlier in the market.
Yes. Yes.
But again, the proportions of these constituents to that our this processed this bread material is not so optimized. We have to think for our more fibrous constituents or this type of prebiotic. Like one important study already made, because diaspora is one of the this very fast rapid area of research. That's why we are having a challenge. This diascoria powder is being added in our
Yeah,
this daily flour. So addition of the flour in the wheat flour with the diascoria powder in a certain proportion can reduce that our this obesity like problem, and also have a long this type of satiety feeling because of the low digestibility. So many research are going on in this type of non-digestible fibers materials, or this type of the food oligosaccharides like substances that can be added nowadays in our future preparations, food
yeah, yeah.
preparation.
Yeah, I am fully agree with you, sir. Sir, one of the most important constituent in the bread is a potassium bromate.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we are habituated to consuming brown bread.
Oh.
Can you suggest that can we offer this brown bread rather than white bread?
Their brown breads are because as part of the constituents they are studying, they are reporting, they are having more fibrous content.
Yes.
I
I
think
also know this.
I have not worked on this part, but so far as I'm studying here, this is having more amounts of fibrous material, and maybe as we know that there is our
Which
this
flour
is our
maybe this.
lignin. High amount of lignin can result a brown appearance during the processing,
Wheat flour maybe.
because yeah, because
Yes.
of that, like lignin get this oxidized because of the phenolic constituent. It creates a brown appearance,
Brown
and
appearance.
that also creates a little bit of some attractiveness and also some better health issues than the conventional white bread.
So it
Okay,
is
okay.
better.
Thank
It
you
is
very much,
better.
sir. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay,
So
thank you, sir.
thank you Vivekananda Mondal and also Professor Navakumar Mondal from Bardhaman
Yeah,
University
definitely.
for your nice
Yeah,
questions also. And very nice presentation, Vivekananda Mondal. On behalf of organizing committee, I also grateful to
yes,
you
sir.
to deliver such a nice lecture.
Thank you
Okay,
so
Thank you,
so
much.
Professor Mondal, that within a very short span of time you have agreed to deliver this lead lecture. So I am extremely grateful to you. So I have heard to your lecture. It was a very wonderful lecture. So very nice. And thanks a lot from the core of my heart for attending this
Thank you so much,
session.
sir. Thank you.
So now I will request all the other participants that we will stop at this moment right now, and we will start with the oral presentations. We will start with the oral presentations. We will start with the oral presentations at exactly at 2 p.m. And I request if the participants they want to join the plenary session, which is running now with a different link. So if you want, you can join the plenary session, which is still going on with the different link, and we will resume with the same link at 2 p.m. exactly. So all of you are requested to join the technical session 4 at 2 p.m. And I also request the participants to stick to their times. So your presentation time is 8 minutes, approximately 8 minutes, and for discussion we have kept 2 minutes. So I request you to please stick with the time, because we have to also go with the validity session at 4 p.m. So I think all of you will be joining at 2 p.m. So that's on from now. So thank you.
Okay. Sir, Ganendran sir, sir, why, hello?
Hello.
Sir, why it is showing that Piyush Mathur is not Ganendran? Hello?
হ্যাঁ পিয়ুষ মাথুর জ্ঞান হ্যালো হ্যালো আমি জ্ঞান বলছি নবো।
হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ,
বলছি
বল।
শোনো না, ওটা পীযূষ মাথুর দেখাচ্ছে, কি ব্যাপার?
ও আসলে আসলে যথারীতি সকাল থেকে শোন না, ইন্টারনেট প্রবলেম, কম্পিউটার সেন্টার কোনো ইয়ে নেই, কারেন্ট অফ, অনেক কিছু চলছে।
ও
পিয়ুষ মাথুরের অনেকগুলো এন্ট্রি থেকে আমরা ঢুকেছি। হ্যাঁ, আমি যে বিল্ডিং এ বসি সেই বিল্ডিং এ রিপেয়ার ওয়ার্ক হচ্ছে, মানে কোনো কানেকশন নেই। ওই পিয়ুষ মাথুরের অনেকগুলো থেকে আমরা ঢুকে বসে আছি।
খুব ভালো হচ্ছে প্রোগ্রামটা,
ভালো
এত
হচ্ছে, হ্যাঁ,
সুন্দর, দারুণ। কালকে এত সুন্দর হয়েছে এবং আজকেও শুরুটা এত সুন্দর,
হ্যাঁ,
খুব
হ্যাঁ,
ভালো হয়েছে, খুব ভালো হয়েছে।
ওয়েলকাম ওয়েলকাম।
Thank you.
চলে আসিস সুযোগ পেলে একবার আমাদের কাছে।
একদম একদম
একদম
অবশ্যই।
খবর দিস দিলেই। হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
হ্যাঁ, আর আমার ওই মেয়েটি যাবে কিন্তু তোর সঙ্গে যোগাযোগ করবে, ঠিক আছে?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আমি আছি প্রতিদিন।
ঠিক 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 আছে, ঠিক আছে। করবো এই ছেলেটার সঙ্গে কথাটা রেকর্ড হয়ে গেল।